We've talked about a lot of offensive stuff tonight. Let's tone it down a bit. Let's talk about religion. Did you know that children who are brought up in a Catholic household are far less likely to have sex as teenagers in comparison to kids who are not brought up in a Catholic household? Isn't that interesting? And we all know why that is. It's because Catholic kids have enough sex as kids. If you didn't like that, strap yourselves in. Because that's number one. All right. Here's the thing, okay? This is what gets me about this whole sort of situation. You won't go to hell for doing those horrible things. It doesn't say in the Bible that that will happen to you, right? But it does say in the Bible that you will go to hell if you wear a shirt woven of two different fabrics. It says this in Leviticus. I shit you not. Could you imagine turning up on your first day of hell and trying to get to know everybody? I mean, you're here for eternity, you may as well make friends. What are you in for, mate? Oh, I'm a murderer. What about you, champ? Oh, I'm a thief. And what about you? Polly Cotton! The fuck? What about you, mate? Oh, there's the dad from Hey Dad. G'day, how are you? All right. Oh, here comes Tracy Grimshaw, let's leave. The Catholic Church, instead of prosecuting pedophiles in their churches, just move them around, which is absolutely fucked up. And what's more fucked up than that is that people will get more upset at me than they'll get upset at the Catholic Church for doing that, just for making a joke. There was this one guy that the Pope moved around, this priest. He moved him from parish to parish, and he ended up in an orphanage for deaf kids in Africa. And in that orphanage, he molested 100 deaf kids. And I remember reading that, just thinking to myself, how the fuck could that happen? I guess they never heard him coming. It's important to pick on everyone. That's the real important part that we need. A friend of mine actually told me, he said, he's a minority himself. He said to me, mate, you need to pick on absolutely everyone to make it fair. And I think that's a fair point. So let's talk about Muslims. Yes, Queen. It's all right, I can say it, I've got a beard. But I feel quite sorry for the Muslim population of Australia. They have to deal with the reflection that happens from all the people on the other side of the world, the horrible things that they're doing just because they're a part of the same faith and they look similar. You know, people treat them differently. I think that's bullshit, right? Like, there's poor people. They walk around like they've got the whole weight of the world on their shoulders. I mean, maybe it's just the really heavy backpacks that they wear. And people say that Muslims are angry people, and I couldn't disagree more. They've just got a really short fuse. Actually, when I was in Melbourne recently, I saw an older gentleman berating a young Muslim boy. And he was up there, he was shaking him and saying, you know, fuck off, we're full, go back to where you came from, all that type of stuff. And I felt like going up to him, right, and just saying, mate, if you don't want to see Muslim people, if you don't want to be around Muslim people, then go somewhere where they're not, like your local swimming pool, because there's no bombing allowed. I hate how people confuse Muslims with Indian people. Like, how can you make that mistake? Obviously, one group is Muslim and the other are Sikh cunts. Bravo me. Some of me best work. The guy who said to me, my friend, he said to me that you need to treat everyone equally, particularly with humour. and offend everyone equally. He's a minority himself. He's an Aboriginal gentleman. He's an Aboriginal guy with a lot of white characteristics, like a job. And that's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. He's part Aboriginal. He's got a part-time job. He's doing real well for himself. People have said to me, you wouldn't tell that joke in front of Aboriginal people. I told that joke as an opening line in front of an all-Aboriginal crowd in Moree in New South Wales. And they loved it. They loved it. Absolutely adored it. I'm sure they would have bought me a beer if they could afford it. I've never been called a cuzzy bruz more in my life. It was fucking fantastic, it was. To be humorous, you've got to risk being offensive, and I think that's a really important part. Like even a lady after a show in Newcastle in my hometown, she came to me and said, I was so offended by what you had to say tonight, Isaac. It was disgusting. And I said, listen, bitch. I don't give a fuck what you think, you stupid cow. Now fuck off. Huh? Anyway, Mum doesn't come to the shows anymore after that. She cut me right off.